What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another GIM video. Currently, we're just standing around on wait for it, and to be honest, you guys wouldn't know it because we've been scheduling these GIM videos out, but for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been doing a whole lot except raiding, which, as you know or may not know on this account, there's not too much point to it. If we just briefly take a look at our raid collection logs here, Chambers, we're missing everything but the pet and KC capes for challenge mode, and we've actually been racking up the KC. We're up to 1345 challenge modes now. Some of them solos, but a lot of them teams lately, actually, which is a huge change of pace for me. But there was a clan event, and that's why I've been raiding so much. It was like a raid clan event type thing. And let's take a look at Theater of Blood. For this one, the 2K cape, normals, and hard mode alike count. And we've also been racking up the KC in that regard. We're almost up to 1,100 normals now. And then even some TOA, believe it or not. We've been doing a lot of TOA as well, and we're also missing the pet in this collection log as well as the KC capes. There are some transmogs here, but I think I'll go after those when I actually have the pet on this account. Unfortunately, I just don't. And a subplot or side plot is that we also need another set of Missouri for our other account. In the collection log here, you can see I have 2 Missouri bodies and 3 Missouri chaps, but unfortunately I had dropped those over for like bond money and split money and whatnot previously before 416 Hero even existed. Now, what have we been doing on this account 416 Hero? Well, long time ago, we established that we wanted to max this account. If you didn't know, this is a 50 defense account. We purposely restricted that to give us an added PVM challenge, and we've since accomplished most of the things we wanted, namely the Inferno and the Coliseum. You'll see that we've been skilling a ton. We have a couple of 99s already, and our most recent thing that we've been doing is mining. I think I last checked in at like 80 mining, to be honest, maybe a couple of levels after that. And to be honest, I've been a bit lazy and I haven't done too much else. Like I said, I've been raiding and then I've been doing star mining on this account, and a bit of a jump here, but we've made it all the way to 90 mining. If we take a look in here, take a look at the rocks, that's actually pretty significant as we're just 2 levels removed from mining amethyst, which as an Ironman, it's always good to mine some amethyst for arrows or blowpipe darts. I wouldn't quite call it a hiatus, but I've just been simply really lazy, right? Just raiding and doing star mining. And before that, we were actually doing prayer training. Well, setting up for prayer anyways. We're still 63 prayer, which is also another purposely restricted stat alongside defense and our 82 attack. Like I said, we will be moving on from this in the future after I accomplish a couple more things. Because, you know, once I level them up, I can't go back. So I got to make sure I knock out everything I want to do beforehand. But we have close to 99 prayer banked now, and I meant to go and actually train it. I just haven't got around to doing that. I'll be doing that shortly, though. But for this video, like I said, about the 5th time now or something, I've been doing a whole lot of raiding. So there's a fair few bit of highlights that I'm going to roll out right now. Yay! Oh my god, it's mine! Yeah. It's my purple. What are we getting? What are we getting? Third shadow, maybe? Okay, Osbumptum's Fang. Actually, how much is this worth? 19.8 mil. Back three back. The back three back. Hey, purple. Eee. Yes. A purple. No way. The guy that died gets the purple. Ooh, another purple. Oh my god. Okay, finally a purple. Oh, it updates right away. What are we getting? A Vernic Defender Hill. Well, at least it's something, and it's more than the Justy. Well, that's all the raiding we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. The clan event in itself was actually only a couple of days, as it very quickly ended as a lot of people pulled purples, and there was just a purple point threshold that one of the teams met. I was actually on the winning team. And speaking of which, there was supposed to be a GP prize pool. I don't think I've actually collected any of that yet, so I got some questions to ask around here. Nevertheless, we're moving on, and it's finally time to start training prayer on 416 Hero. Well, before we do that, actually, there's two things I need to do. First, a birdhouse run. Now, previously, we've been keeping up with birdhouse runs religiously. Actually, is that the right term? I don't know, but we've been keeping up with birdhouses really well, pretty much doing them on cooldown. But as I started doing the raid sessions and as I was just doing shooting stars, which is just so AFK, so cozy, I started being lazy on these birdhouses, so we're currently 92 hunter, and we're actually pretty close to 93. If I stay back on top of the birdhouse runs again, I should be 93 in a matter of a couple of days. So right now I'm doing a birdhouse run again. I'm going to try to start these going again. And then after this, we're going to head on over to Tears of Gothic, something I haven't done in a couple of weeks as well. We're currently 46 sailing, so we're going to be safe to do Tears of Gothics to get maybe another level or two before Tears of Gothic starts prioritizing defense levels, which we don't want that to happen just yet. Or ever, actually. Ideally, we would want it to go into other skills like rune crafting or something like that. Combat stats, yeah, we probably don't want that on Tears of Gothics. 204 tiers, 4 shy of tying my previous PB, 46 sailing, all the way up to 48. We were just like 200 EXP away from 47 to be fair, but that's 2 extra sailing levels, bringing us to a total level of 2089. Now, let's start our prayer training. For our prayer training, okay, kind of rude, I'm trying to talk here. Alright, for our prayer training, previously we've discussed this and we flip-flopped back and forth what we wanted to do, whether we were going to go into the wilderness or simply come to Varlamore here and do all bone shards. I think I decided that I was going to do a balance of both, but I didn't really game plan for going 6.4 times dry at Calvarion, and that bought me a lot of time to just chisel all my bones and bless all my bones. On top of that, during our Calvarion grind, we picked up another 2,100 dragon bones. So I'm going to go through that really quickly here at Varlamore. And then, well, you can see in my inventory, I have nearly 1.8 million bone shards. Now, I did the math previously, and we need about 2.1 million or so with blessed Sunfire wines, that is, to get to 99. Obviously, we don't have that, and even going through these 2,100 dragon bones, I don't think we're going to have it, but we're going to be pretty close. And then the remaining prayer EXP we need to get to 99 will likely passively get it on our Slayer grind. And that's the main reason why we're doing prayer right now, if you didn't know. I want to get prayer up so that we can more efficiently do Slayer. And before we do Slayer, well, we're going to have to get done with all the things we still want to do as a 50 defense account, because I do plan on defensive casting Barrage Slayer. And that's when the total levels are really going to fly up. Just think about that for a second. We're 2089 total level, and we still have these combat stats restricted. So if these were already 99, we'd be well on our way, closer to 2200 than 2100 actually. While we're chiseling the remaining bones, I'm going to go ahead and start cooking some anglers here on Wait For It. We still have another 1,500, but I have 5.3k of them raw, so a lot of angler fish to go through. We're certainly not going to get through all of it, but yeah, it's good to get some more anglers, use it as pre-pot, and just honestly, we have enough for it to just be a normal hard food we use on any bossing grinds we might want to do. Another thing we should do on this account, to be honest, is go back to some trawling. We haven't done that in a while. I still have a couple of bluefins left and these marlins. Honestly, I don't have too many of them, so I find it hard for me to use, but I just need to make more of an effort to go back to doing some trawling. Honestly, it's been a long time since I did any trawling or fishing or anything that's like typical Ironman upkeep, like mining amethyst for my arrows and darts and things of that nature. I used to do a really good job of just always be doing something on this account, even if I don't really need it, right? Because even right now, I think it's in my quiver actually, but I have like 30,000 amethyst arrows, and even if we were out of that, we have 23,000 dragon arrows. We even have extra amethyst darts as our blowpipe is full, and we have tons and tons of food and things like that. But that's just a result of me previously always doing something. If I had like, 10 minutes or so while I was waiting on a raid team or something, I'd just go do angler fishing, or I'd do like a couple of trips of blood rune crafting. I'm just very good at staying active. More recently though, I've racked up so many hours played by simply bank standing, doing nothing, especially on this account. Sometimes I just need to be logged in to host the player-owned house for the other account. Which, yes, Relatively recently, we did get 99 construction on the account, but I still have not filled out that POH at all, and it still relies on this maxed Grandmaster account's POH. Alright, the 2100 Dragon Bones are blessed and chiseled. I think we ended up with another 100,000 blessed bone shards or so, so we're up to 1,870,000 of them now. Now I have both the accounts parked here because on the other account, I have the Sunfire Shards, or Sunfire Splinters, and the Jugs of Wine. I gotta look this up real quick. I think it's a very careful process, step-by-step process we have to do this in, because I do think the wines are untradeable, and I know, speaking from previous experience, they're definitely not bankable even, so I think I have to make sure I do it on the proper account. I'm just bringing this account here just so I have the Jugs of Wine noted, because the Jugs of Wine are tradable, but I think once I put Sunfire Splinters into them and they're blessed, they're no longer tradable. Okay, so here we are with an inventory full of regular Jugs of Wine. We have the Sunfire Splinters. Can I use the Splinters on the jug? You need 2 Sunfire Splinters, a Jug of Wine, and a Pestle and Mortar. I did not know that. Alright, well, 1 second. Alright, let's try this again. So Sunfire Splinters on the Jug of Wine with the Pestle and Mortar. Alright, looks like it's going to use 2 Sunfire Splinters at a time for each individual wine. Now, can I speed this up? Can I, like... Okay, it appears so. So with the batch of Sunfire Wine, we now bless it. Turns it into a Jug of Blessed Sunfire Wine, and then let's run into the building over there. Into the building, there's this libation bowl here, and we can fill it. Do I have to only put 1 at a time? Oh, wait, I'm prayer training already. Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that exactly. But, okay, looks like you can't fill the libation bowl. You have to just have them in your inventory. So, yeah, that's a good reason why we have the second account there ready to unnote. So, I guess we have everything sorted. Let's get started on the prayer training. Now, let's remember we're 63 prayer. Let's see what we get up to. And we're also level 103 combat. And we're also level 103 combat. That was the reason why we just arbitrarily restricted 63 prayer and 82 attack. These thresholds were just high enough to get the Royal Titan prayers, which are very, very useful. And 82 attack gave us access to pretty much every weapon. I think the Osmumtum's Fang is at 82 to be exact. But we're going to be moving on. And so, with prayer first, we're definitely going to pick up some combat levels, and we're going to be no longer level 103. So each time you consume from the libation bowl, it does take away prayer. Very conveniently though, in the next building over, there's a Shrine of Ralos in which you can regenerate your prayer. You're just gonna have to run back and forth between these 2 buildings and then back to the Blessed Altar whenever we need to get more Sunfire Wines. So right now each click is going to be a 600 prayer EXP drop. This is going to be very, very quick, although a lot of clicks apparently. Alternatively, I think you can let this passively do its thing. Let's see. Well, I'm out of prayer, so hold on 1 second. Okay, can you actually AFK this? Let's find out. You can, it's just much slower, just like the chiseling. But there we go, our first prayer level, nothing there. Although we do get a combat level, actually. We're now level 104. I'm definitely going to try to spam click this just to speed it up. After all, this is the payoff. Chiseling the bones and blessing them took a long time, and this is the payoff right here, where our prayer EXP and the levels are going to be absolutely flying. Well, I was under the impression that you could talk to this person and unnote your wines, but apparently they only do bones. So on this account, while I'm doing prayer training on the other, I'm going to have to TP out and manually unnote these. A little bit unfortunate. Although this account is still very relevant because we do have the Pendant of Eights, and with this statue, this TP, Ralos' Rise, I believe is the name, it puts us right next to the altar, so the other account doesn't have this, it's actually still a time save by using both accounts. Just a little bit tedious though. It's honestly a little inconvenient that I can only do 27 blessed Sunfire Wines at a time, meaning I have to run back and forth, trade back and forth, bank to unnote the wines and whatnot. It's not going to be quite as satisfying as I thought it would be, but the prayer EXP is still going to be pretty quick, and At least we don't have to deal with the wilderness. Well, there goes 65 prayer. I'm not going to showcase every single level, obviously, because we're going to be gaining a lot of these in pretty quick time here. But I will check in when we get those massive milestones. Okay, first little milestone here, 70 prayer. That is going to unlock piety, at least the level requirement. We actually still don't have access to piety because we haven't done King's Ransom, which is the prerequisite quest, but also we don't have 70 defense, which is actually a requirement as well. Same thing when we get to 74 for rigor and 77 for augury. We actually have to have a defense level requirement that we don't have just yet. But we are training up prayer now because for our future challenges, just having higher prayer is going to be nice, because if you didn't know, the amount of prayer a prayer potion or a restore potion, or super restore I should say, gives you back scales based on what your prayer level is. The higher level your prayer is, the more value you're going to get out of those potion doses. Just finished up another Blessed Sunfire Wine inventory there, but I did TP out, make my way to the Farming Guild here, just have access to a bank chest, and I did trade the jugs of wine over from the other account, and that's because we're going to be switching up the strategy here just a little bit. So things being untradeable or unbankable, it's all a little bit confusing, but what we need to know is that I can very safely convert these jugs of wines into jugs of Sunfire wines, and I can bank those. So I can basically do this process in a big bulk here, and then what we will have to do is actually make the trip from a bank chest to the altar back and forth. But I think just being able to do this one step in bulk is going to be nice. So what we're going to do here is I've unnoted the jugs of wine. Now let's just do spam click an inventory real quick to get Sunfire wines. And there we go, one full inventory. Now let's just confirm that this works. But my bank is full, so let me just replace or release a placeholder, Snapdragon potions, whatever. So we have jugs of Sunfire wine in our inventory, and we can indeed put those away. So yeah, let's just get through. I'm not too sure how many of these we need, but we'll get definitely a couple of thousand first. And to answer my own question, each wine respectively, Blessed Sunfire wine that is going to be about 400 bone shards. So let's go ahead and do the math real quick. We have 1.8 million blessed bone shards, and we divide that by 400. That's going to be 4,500 of these wines that we're going to need to make. Obviously, we have over 20,000 jugs of wine right now, so we have more than enough. So this is going to be a little bit more convenient, but the bad news is we're once again delaying the EXP drops. Delayed gratification, if you will. We're currently sitting at 70 prayer, and we're going to have to go through 4,500 of these wines before we can actually see any more EXP drops right now. Right now, we're just going through the processing stage. Well, I was just mindlessly clicking back at the libation bowl here. We hit 74 prayer, a total level of 2,100 total level. And 74 is when we get rigor. Well, we actually haven't got the prayer scroll on this account just yet, although I do have a whole bunch of dupes sitting on the other account's bank. But maybe we'll do some chambers on this account to earn it ourselves. I don't know. Just yapping here, something to think about for content in the future. But yeah, let's keep going with the prayer. It's not something you always think about, but prayer level actually does give you some armor or gear unlock. So at 75, I guess we can now equip an Elysian Spirit Shield. Not that we have one, but that's something to keep in mind. And we just hit level 77 prayer, which means augury. As far as prayer unlocks go, this is the last one at level 77. Curious to see if they're ever going to introduce another prayer. I guess there is one more slot conveniently down here. And there is 87 prayer. Nothing that gets unlocked directly on that level, but it does mark the 25% of the way to 99. We're averaging about 1 million EXP an hour, including the fact that, we're stepping away to do our birdhouse run. So honestly, not too bad. level 90 prayer now, and like I said, we're not going to be getting all the way to 99, but I think we'll be like 97, 98 maybe. Quick step away from prayer to do a birdhouse run. We're actually approaching 93 hunter in, I don't know, 5 to 6 more birdhouse runs, so maybe later tonight or the next day. And we're now under 1 million blessed bone shards remaining. And let's check our wine stash real quick. We have another 2.5k jugs of Sunfire wine to get through. Obligatory check-in at the halfway mark, level 92 prayer. Over 5 mil EXP gain today, getting us to 95 prayer. And as far as our bone shards go, we're less than 500,000 remaining. Making good progress here, and we'll be done maybe in a couple of days. Another start to the day, another birdhouse run, and as I touched on before in the video, we keep these up again and we're going to be 93 hunter in no time. Well, today's the day with this birdhouse right here, level 93 hunter. Let's see if we unlock anything. The ability to catch dragon implings barehanded. That's pretty nice. I don't typically catch implings for anything, but sometimes if I do come across them just, teleporting to a certain location, just happen to see them, it is nice to just catch one, especially like the dragon tier or even a lucky impling. Those are the ones that are worth catching. But with the birdhouse run out the way, it's back to prayer training, and we should be finishing this grind up today. We got 441,000 blessed bone shards remaining, 600 EXP drop a piece because we are using blessed Sunfire wines. Currently level 95 with another 750k EXP to go till 96. If I had to guess, we're probably going to be in the late level 97s, maybe early level 98s when we run out of these bone shards. That is level 96 prayer with 314,000 blessed bone shards to go, and that's a level 108 combat. Remember when we first started at level 63 prayer, we were at level 103 combat, so we've gained 5 combat levels since then. Maybe we'll pick up 1 or 2 more, I'm not too sure. A little while later, but we pick up another level 97 with 146k blessed bone shards to go. Honestly, I'm not too sure if we're gonna get 98. But it's another 1.1 million EXP to go. And without a doubt now, we're going to be finally finishing this up. I say finally, prayer is an extremely fast skill, but I didn't necessarily expect this to be like a multi-day thing just to get through all the bone shards. But I guess it is 63 to 97 or 98 prayer, so that's a lot of EXP to say the least. We're now under 100,000 blessed bone shards to go, so we can actually see the exact number, 97,680. And another inventory of the Sunfire wines that we're going to bless. We have less than 300 of those too. I think that should be enough, and we are currently 819k EXP away from 98. We're more than likely not going to reach that, but I'm just going to be glad that we're finally done with the prayer for now. And we'll be picking up the rest of the EXP to 99 by other means, Slayer, and maybe eventually we'll finally do Perilous Moons quest and do some mining for the bone shards that way. Alright, I just realized I wasted a couple of these blessed Sunfire wines here because I only needed like 2 of them and I ran out of all my bone shards. That's right, we are now completely out of bone shards. We're finally done, and our stopping point here is 97 prayer with 233,000 EXP to go until 98. I don't believe I can bank these jugs of blessed Sunfire wine, so that might be a waste, unfortunately. All right, let's just double check back at the bank here. Yep. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to drop these. I don't have any other bones to chisel down, and even if I did, these things are permanently in my inventory since I can't get rid of them anywhere. So yeah, that's just going to go to the floor. Each wine was 2 Sunfire splinters, so I suppose it's not too big of a loss. That's only 50 splinters that we can get back very easily. Well, that's going to have to do it for now. Obviously, we have things planned ahead that we want to be doing on both accounts, but amidst the prayer grind, I actually just parked myself here on this account to do some angler fishing. Oh, gotta move spots. Always good to just do something and keep our supplies stocked up. We do always go through a bunch of anglerfish. even as a pre-pot for raiding and just as general food as well. This was a bit of a two-part thing. Obviously, we went through a lot of raiding and got a few purples, saw a few purples, and then we finally got around to the prayer grind that feels like I was working towards for weeks and weeks, but just never got around to it, whether that was just having to stock up on the blessed bone shards or just getting sidetracked doing other things. But we finally did it.